of Bronx County, New York, the west coast of Orange County, California. From the Pacific perspective to the Atlantic perspective. From liberal craziness to conservative idealism. From Christianity to atheism belief systems. Welcome to the TheGrayZone Roundtable with your hosts, Rectify and Lakeem, Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com.
What is up, all the good people out there at Revolution Radio? This is Rectify.
And this is Joaquin.
Welcome to the Gray Zone. So today, we are already joined by two lovely ladies. Imagine that. We got callers before the show even started.
Indeed.
Heather Holman and Angela Black with us. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the Party Train Roundtable. I mean, the Gray Zone.
The Gray Zone.
Yeah, tonight, man. Happy January 14th, 2014 for all those on the East Coast or on the other side of the planet. As far as I'm concerned, and I think Angela Black and also Heather, we're still on the 13th of January for another hour. But, yeah, it's going to be a happy Monday night, Tuesday morning.
Correct.
Gray Zone.
So, Heather, you're on the West Coast as well?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, there you go.
Close.
Yeah.
They never change their clocks there, so no daylight savings time.
Yeah, that is so annoying, changing times, because in Arizona it never changes. So I don't know about counting hours and doing that. I have no clue about it.
How you doing today, Joaquin? How's the East Coast treating you?
I'm good, man. Great. I like to say hello to all our listeners listening in on Live 365. It's a pleasure having you. Woo, woo. And everybody listening on TuneIn as well. And all our FM affiliates in Kentucky, Seattle, and Germany. Hola.
I have an Oma and an Opa, all you German listeners out there. That's right. I've got German blood in me, and those are my grandparents.
There you go. You really got fans, dude. Trust me.
And
this is my saying.
How you doing tonight? Good woman?
Myself?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And I do agree with Heather. The manipulation of time is such BS, in my opinion. I always think it's so funny. Let me tell you something. Coyotes or coyotes don't care what time the government says it is. They basically will hunt animals, including my cats, at, dawn and dusk. And, so if there's dawn or dusk, it really doesn't matter what that round thing with the, ticking hands on it. And, I'm going to give my husband some crap right now. He, grew up, he's a little older than me. And grew up, watching round clocks, and now can't seem to tell time, unless he's looking at a digital clock, which is so funny to me. I'm sorry, maybe it's a bad thing that I laugh.
Well, that's kind of like we can't remember phone numbers anymore either, because they're all stored on our cell phones.
Thank you. So, and you know what? I actually have this crap phone, and I make a point of not putting anyone's name in to the numbers on this old phone. I mean, I do have an old defunct iPhone that I keep everyone's numbers in, and I will be lost if I don't have it. But I have to tell you that I keep numbers in my phone because I just want to make sure that I can remember, because we all used to remember everyone's phone number, and now we don't. So it's interesting in general. Time, phones, numeric things, etc. The end. I got no more. I got nothing.
Well, you gotta see, here's the thing. If you ever get arrested, which I think everyone in their life should be arrested once just so they get a taste of what jail's like. But when you're in jail, you get a collect call. And you better know a freaking number to call. Otherwise, you're going to be in there for a while.
Thank you. That's what I was, you know what? I have to
still exist? Collect calls still exist?
Yes, they do, man.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
And hello, Lucky.
How you doing, Angela?
I'm all right, man. It was nice to meet you last week or whenever it was, and I'm back. That stuff.
We spoke once. I haven't heard from you since.
Yeah, and Rectify, it looked like you lived off of that day.
I'm still here, breathing.
And anyway, just hello to everyone. Heather as well.
Wins, my friend.
What's that?
Breathing in radioactive winds.
Oh, come
Are you on the
now.
West Coast?
You
Are
gotta
you on the
tease.
West Coast?
Yeah, I'm on the left. He's teasing the left coast, man. Yeah, we're getting ridiculed by radiation particles, big time. I'm sure of it. I wake up with
I know.
bruises and spots all over my skin. I get
And
bloody
everyone has the
noses.
flu.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has the flu on the West Coast.
Oh, that's all it is. It's just the flu, everybody.
No, I'm just saying, like, so you think about radiation poisoning, which is what, 500 times, and I'm sure that's a generous,
Figure,
miscalculation. And then bam, so you've got all this radiation, which is weakening everyone's systems, and then you've got a bug, H151 or whatever, and then, bam, everyone on the West Coast is...
Their immune systems are fighting for literally for our lives, man. I go through like a quarter roll of toilet paper every morning just blowing my nose.
Thank you.
Is no joke at all. I mean,
I'm the same. And I'm in northern Nevada, so I'm only a state over.
Right.
But I have to tell you something. I wonder where the hell that stuff comes from. And my husband, who does not suffer from it, he says, Angela, and we've known each other for 22 years or something like that. He's like, I've never seen you blow your nose like this. I'm like, you have no idea. I have no idea what's going on here, people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's the immune system. It's
dying.
just fighting. It knows there's an invader, and it doesn't know how to deal with it. And it's got to be radiation. It's bigger than the flu because it's ongoing, and the symptoms are different. There's no fever related. I get pain behind my eyes. Just weird stuff.
Behind your eyes?
Right. The same side, behind my left eye. The same side I blow out a blood clot every once in a while.
You know what, Rectify, I've got to say something I learned yesterday. It's kind of important. I'm sure if you're knowledgeable about this Fukushima or the radiation deal, you understand about the importance of having iodine in your diet and thyroid and things like that.
Is it iodine or iodide?
Iodine, nascent iodine or potassium iodine, whatever it is. But the point is, it's not the kind that you put in your first aid kit. But if you take that iodine, the red stuff, out of your first aid kit and you put it in a circle on your stomach, like before you go to bed at night, if you wake up in the morning, or 8 hours later, and the circle is absorbed into your skin, then you know that you're deficient of iodine.
How do you know if it's absorbed? Does it change color, the circle?
It disappears because it sucks in if you need it, but if you don't need it, if the brown spot is still there, or the red spot or whatever.
Yellow. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
That is
yellow.
very interesting information.
That's good to know. If you want to know if you need, iodine, then put some of the red stuff on your stomach. It's really easy. It's really cheap.
So topical application of iodine actually will still direct the iodine to your thyroid and protect it?
No, it's more of an absorption thing. I would definitely want to stress, do not take that as a supplement. It's poisonous.
Right.
It's topical. But that's how you can tell if you need it, because your body kind of soaks it in.
I've got the dropper full with the kelp. 1 drop under your tongue, per day.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that will help your thyroid, process radiation.
Yeah, I ordered some yesterday, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I don't believe I have thyroid problems, but people are being really religious about this, and it's selling off the shelves. The government bought, most of it or something. They bought a huge amount of it, and so that's just an indication that we need to do that too.
I'm just going to sit here and wait for my goiter to form, and I'll show it
I know.
off.
Don't say that. My sister-in-law's in the hospital in the ICU with that right now.
Yeah, Zach in chat says radiation from chemtrails, possibly even, which I don't know, man. I could see the chemtrails with the barium, absorb
Maybe
radiation.
he could be right, because
Cosmically.
the sun is really vicious in the last few years. I can't even open my eyes outside. It's way too sensitive.
Absolutely. And the chemtrail situation, absolutely.
How was your skies today, Angela and Heather?
Today they were blue.
Yeah? How about yesterday?
Yesterday, they were blue, but 3 days ago, they were, rampant. You know, and it's so weird. And then I recently saw something on, and I've got this one from Los Angeles on, it was November 11th of 2010. The same day this poor girl died that night. I was at the office all day on Sunset Boulevard, and it was that day that missile things, quote unquote missile thing, blew up over the, you know, Catalina or whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, anyway, and they were just spraying the literal, you know, raping the skies with chemtrails. And anyway, so I see that occasionally up here in Lake Tahoe. Last 2 days, no. Third day, 3 days ago, yes. Total rape of the sky. And it's very interesting to me because a lot of people are talking about, you know, getting sick on the West Coast. And you know, I'm talking West Coast. I'm a little bit inland. You know, I'm about, you know, maybe 500 miles inland. I don't know, but nonetheless, I'm over a lake and this type of thing. But chemtrails, I'm sorry, it is one of my passions. You know, talking about chemtrails, et cetera, and just the fact that all of that weakening our immune systems, et cetera. So regardless of, you know, if it's actually making us ill or just weakening our immune systems and then leaving us open to the bug if you go out in public at all, if you don't wash your hands, if you know, you literally interact with anybody. I mean, everyone who's been in LA, sick. That I know. Everyone that I know that's been in LA or lives in LA has either been sick, is sick, or will be sick in the next few weeks.
Days.
It's horrible.
Well, what I find
Can
interesting with the
Can I ask
chemtrails.
you something? Joaquin was talking, I think it was 2 weeks ago, he was talking about the chemtrails making like this really intricate checkerboard pattern, and I've seen that. So what is that?
Oh, God. Well, strontium,
manipulation of
barium,
weather.
aluminum, you know, I mean, basically, I think it's just a way to, I mean, in my opinion, it's a way to, you know, you can check out, those two videos. What in the world are they spraying? Why in the world are they spraying?
Has a lot to do with manipulation of weather.
Yeah, thank you.
Weather manipulation, right. But here's what I find.
It's a really intricate pattern.
Yes.
What I find interesting is,
And then you have these people that are in denial saying, "Oh no, that's just regular flight trails."
Right.
And I'm like, "What?" You know, I mean, seriously, there's a checkerboard in your sky.
It's crop dusters, that's
well, check
all.
this out, Angela. Like 3 days ago, like you said, it was crazy here in Southern California. Also, they checkboarded the hell out of us. But what I realized is at the same time, I watched a lot of, you know, sun reporting and all that, and we had an X-class flare, and they seemed to spray the heck out of us.
Right, to, what is it?
The
Prevent
coronal mass ejection that's
no.
coming at us.
Yeah. I don't know. You know.
I think there's multiple reasons for it, but
yeah, there really are, and they know it.
What's going on?
Go ahead, you guys.
What
I'm
I really
mute for a
think
second.
what's going on is that there's no global warming. That's a complete lie. We're heading towards an ice age. And what they're doing is to hide that. They're spraying us with chemtrails and manipulating weather. So that, like, for instance, last week in New York City, we reached 30 below. I don't ever remember that happening, like, in all my days of living here in New York City. Now, that's kind of crazy. Being one day it was 15 below, then it dropped to 20 below. Then it was like 30. Between 20 and 30. And that was last Monday and last Tuesday. And all of a sudden today, you know, I see a whole bunch of chemtrails in this morning. All of a sudden, we're 55, close to 60 in the middle of January.
you're breaking up a little bit, Joaquin. Check your wireless signal strength.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
You
You said 30 below? You guys have had 30 below?
Yeah.
Is that with the
30
wind chill
below.
or without?
With the wind chill, no, degrees, and then it dropped down to 6 degrees with the wind chill, went down to 15 to 30 below zero. That was 2 days straight last week, Monday and Tuesday. And what happened is that during those days, they were spraying us. Well, actually, the day after, it was like Wednesday, they were spraying us with a whole bunch of chemtrails. Because I know the difference between contrails and chemtrails. Contrails disappear. They like kind of follow the plane, and they just literally disappear. Chemtrails stay there. And after that, now, you know, it heated up. It rose about like 20 to 30 degrees. And today we're in the middle. Today I see a whole bunch of chemtrails in the skies. Also, when I was at work earlier, and I work in Manhattan, so when I looked up, I had seen them on my way to work, and we reached almost 60 degrees today. It was 55. So I believe what they're doing is actually trying to hide the fact that we're headed towards another ice age by heating the atmosphere up.
by manipulating weather and actually, raising temperature. So.
Well, that's some topics. I don't want to stick on chemtrails all night. I mean, a lot of people are in denial about them, and that's fine. It's been going on for almost 2 decades. So if you're going to stay in denial, good luck.
The Nile is not only a river in Egypt.
Right.
Speaking of that, Mark McCamish, like I was telling you earlier, he contacted me on Facebook about 2 hours ago, and he's very knowledgeable when it comes to that. And told me he wanted to come on. I didn't even invite him, and I was like, "Really?" And I had a smile from ear to ear. I was like,
so we'll save the chemtrails for Mark. But I got a couple things jotted down that we can get into. I'm always looking for stupid stuff to talk about, right? So I've got a couple things on the list, and I don't know, we can pick which one we want to go with, but first
since
one.
We have ladies here. You want to go there first?
Yeah,
what we
well.
were talking about earlier.
Well, Angela's actually switching up her PC. She's going to her other computer. She'll be right back with us. But here's what I got, Heather. I'll let the ladies choose. But we got best job you've ever had. All right. We've got talk about relationships, marriage, women, vanity, materialism. We can talk about how it is to go out in public these days, how annoying it is, or even as Angela stated, it's dangerous with all the influenza and stuff. Public transportation, that's something I wanted to bring up with Joaquin. That's going out in public on the subway. Never been on the subway, so I have no idea how New York rolls with that stuff and what people are like. And then the last topic was bad drivers. So take a pick. We can go anywhere we want.
Can you repeat the topics, please?
Sure. Best job you've ever had? Women, relationships, marriage, vanity, materialism, going out in public, annoyances of going out in public. A lot of people don't like to go out in public anymore. Public transportation annoyances, and bad drivers. And Angela is back, and she missed it. But yeah.
I did miss it. What happened?
We're just going through topics, what we're going to talk about.
Dang. Dang.
Break it down, Rectify. Break it down real quick.
What's the best job you've ever had, Angela?
I was just going to say that. I was like, I think the best job I ever had was as a restoration specialist. I was that for about 8 years in the union, Local 1, bricklayers and allied craft workers. What I loved about that job, one, it never got boring because we always was at a different site once the job was done. Two, I used to hang off of skyscrapers. Literally 80 stories, 50 stories, 70 stories in the air. And I have the most awesome pictures you will ever see of New York City because of that.
Where are they posted?
Oh, well, they're photos. I don't have them digital. They're literal photos.
So you're using like a 35 millimeter hanging off the top of a skyscraper?
This was a long time ago. This was about like 14 years ago. This was like 99, 2000, 2001. Like that time, I have pictures of when I worked in the World Trade Center. We were caught in the wilderness in the World Trade Center. Jersey City, across the Hudson, looking towards the World Trade Center, at the Plaza Hotel, overlooking all of Central Park, the East and the West, Upper West Side, and the Upper East Side.
I got nothing on that. I got nothing for you. I got nothing.
Oh, we're joined by 2 callers. We have Zach. What's up, buddy? That's MMS Cures. And
No way!
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
What's going on, Zach?
Good to hear you guys.
Zach.
Oh, it was a while ago, but thank you.
We got caller 336. We'll get to you right after Zach makes his big intro.
Yeah, hey, I know, I just wanted to give props to Joaquin. I think you're onto something there. I don't know the reasons they're spraying necessarily, but when they spray, they're trapping the heat inside.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
You might be onto something, but I wanted to give you props for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they claim that it'll reflect the sun, off of the other side. But indeed, they're making a greenhouse out of us, except for with a bunch of our smog in it, and in these types of radiation issues, etc. So yeah, hello. I mean, it basically makes a layer that is, somewhat. What's the word I'm looking for? Not impermeable. Impermeable.
Semi, anyhow, yeah, it does.
Semi,
there's a shot from the ISS space station. It just shows white out around the Earth And I've never seen pictures like that in my lifetime until recently.
Well, we got 336 on the line, if I'm not mistaken. That's Brian. He's he calls all the time. He's if I'm not mistaken, and he's on his dinner break at work. 336, is this Brian?
Yeah, it is, but
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, what's up, guys? What's up, Rectify, Joaquin? I don't know who else is on the call, but
What's going on, man? What's up, Brian?
what's up?
Hi, Brian.
Yeah, actually, you said I call all the time. I wish I could. I used to, but yeah, tonight I'm playing frickin' hooky. My phone is
Take it down.
Well, basically, my phone's been acting funky the last couple of days, so I tried to listen in on TuneIn, so maybe I'll just be in the background for a while. I know the wife wants me to be with me right now, but yeah, I'd love
Chime
to
in whenever. Chime in
What's the
whenever.
topic, man?
Dude, I just have to tell you wrote a song, though, Brian. I'm playing hooky. My phone is funky. I'm just telling you. You know, I'm taking notes. I might steal, but if I do, I'll find you and I'll pay you.
It didn't even know it.
With the wife, it was kind of funky.
It's called Smartphone Blues.
It's called the Smartphone Blues. Exactly. I love it.
But I call it the dumb phone, yeah, 'cause it's dumb.
The dumb phone. But it's the dumb
It'll
phone
spell for you,
blues.
though, right? It'll spell wrongly for you.
DUMB. That's of course the Denver, you know, NORAD base. You know.
Keep underground military bases, yeah.
Blues. Nice.
Heather.
And so we got like dual, you know, exo meaning.
We're talking best job you've ever had, Angela.
Oh man. Okay. Well, when I was a fake important person, that was the best job I ever had.
What's a fake
I was.
person detail?
Like I was a manager of bands and actors and stuff. And it was cool because I gave everyone so much information and education and all that kind of stuff. And then only like 2 people ever paid me out of like 90 or something like this. It was ridiculous. So it was awesome because I had like this cool ass office on Sunset Boulevard and I was like important, or I thought I was. And it was the best job ever because like I woke up in the morning thinking I had purpose and then, you know, I mean, but this was 10 years ago, so you have to realize that, you know, after I woke up, I realized that who gives a you know what, and so, you know, Kim Kardashian, you know, I don't care, and then everyone,
you don't like the
I don't care.
donk?
Yeah, right. No, I do, and I think ass implants are great. You know, I already have it.
Don't say that. Don't say that. I don't want to
need no
believe that.
implants. I don't need no implants, my hoes. Anyway, but whatever. I'm just saying that I think it was the best pseudo job I ever had because I really thought I was important at the time. And you know, we're looking at 2005, so I did think it was important at the time. And when I woke up in about I'm sorry, I know you've been more awake than me for longer than I have, but I woke up around 2009, 2010, and when I was like, what you know, is going on
Better
with
late
this
than
world?
never.
You know, yeah. So anyway,
Really?
I don't even think I had a good
2009,
job. What's that?
2009, 2010?
Yeah, 2009 I would go with.
Wow.
And then the other thing I can say is that my favorite job was when I was a singer-songwriter, or an aspiring one as of such. And you know, was writing tunes and like recording music and doing that thing in like Los Angeles and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, sure, those were the pseudo jobs that I think were the most important and most fun for me. But have I ever really had the purpose? What's that?
I said music, like elevator music.
No, I mean, I was writing some decent lyrics, man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, I
She's
had
a metalhead. Come on, guys.
Oh, really?
funk girl. I'm a
Okay,
funk
well,
girl.
kudos.
Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Have I ever really had an important job? Other than the radio, which I will have to give my, you know what? The most important job I've ever had was being a host on Revolution Radio.
When are you coming back?
Ew.
I'm coming back within the next month.
Sweet.
I promise you that.
Can't wait.
And you know
Okay,
what?
we're talking about the greatest job you ever had, not so much important. Like, you know, like for you, like,
you know,
like
I
what was
have
the best
such-
job for you?
I have such a slang ho answer for you, which I can't give.
You tell them again?
Wow. We're going to
I
sit
can give
down
an
over
answer.
there. Wait till the break. I
No,
can't
I'm
wait
good. I'm gonna pass.
Brian,
You know what? Less
what's
is
up,
more.
Brian? What's the best job you ever had?
Less is more. Less is more.
Say again, Rick. Sorry.
What's the best job you ever
to
held?
Okay, well, yeah, I've got two answers, and I'm sorry again because I am on a dumb phone. There's a delay, so if I interrupt, I do not mean to
You
at all.
sound great, buddy.
Aw,
First of all, we are live 365 right now, right?
Absolutely.
I think
Okay, so what can we say?
so. Don't swear and, try to keep it low key. And
Yeah,
can you find like a pseudo word for your situation and then, just kind of quote unquote it, you'll be fine.
G-rated, buddy. That's all you got to remember.
G-rate. Oh, okay. So, yeah,
Good answer.
So, okay. All right. Yeah, good answer. First of all, the best paying job I've ever had was working at Intel in Chandler, Arizona, making $15.50 an hour, and I worked 60 hours a week. So all that overtime equated to about $23.25 an hour. All I did was test the chips for the old Bluetooth phones and whatnot, and all you did is put like 4 chips in a test bed, and you wait 30 minutes. If they pass, great. If they fail, you run them 3 more times, and in the meantime, all you're doing is browsing the internet. That was
You're
the
like,
best
and
job.
that's $23.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, easy is anything. But the second best job I've had, non-paying, well, actually, I'll call this my primary job right now, is to support L.B. Bork with the Red Amendment and the People's Awareness Coalition, trying to get everyone to wake up to the whole 14th Amendment citizenship issue. But, yeah, right now I'm just trying to totally help him out and do
The
what I
14th
can,
Amendment, that's the one that declares, breathing men and women as persons.
Pretty
Citizens.
much.
Nicely done there,
it literally
Rectify.
makes you slave. There's a difference between a U.S. citizen and a state national. Once we're all state nationals, then they have no jurisdiction over us. So there's a whole big issue there. And I'm just trying to get people to wake up to that, and that's the best thing I can do right now. I mean, that's the most important. I mean, my wife sometimes gets upset with me because it's like, she thinks my priorities are kind of messed up. But you know what I'm thinking? My priorities are straight because I'm trying to think about my children and my grandchildren and their
Yeah, I was
children.
going to say, is everyone
There's what's
eating?
gonna happen
Does everyone
50
have a
years from now.
shower? That's all I'm
What's that?
asking. Does everyone have a roof and a shower, and are they eating?
Well, yes, they are.
Then
And,
you got your
I'm the
priorities
only-
straight, honey.
I'm the sole income for my family of 5 now. We just had a
Yeah,
newborn.
then
December
it sounds
16th.
to me like you got your priorities straight just fine.
Well, congratulations on your newborn. Did you have a boy or a girl?
We've got 3 sons now.
Right on.
Wow.
Your wife's going to keep trying for a girl, or are you guys going to cut it off?
She wants to, but I'm trying to nip that in the bud right now, man.
My mom, there's 4 of us boys, and yeah, she wanted a girl really bad, so yeah, there's 4 of us boys.
So you've got 3 other brothers and no girls?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. See, did she actually give up after the 4th one?
I think my dad went and got snipped.
Nip that in the bud.
Right, exactly. Heather Holman, we haven't heard from you. Your best job ever. What was it? And
I still
I'm gonna
don't
mute up for a
know.
second, guys.
all right, Brian,
I still don't know.
you have no idea.
I would say working at the modeling agency was the best, because I was independent contractor or whatever, and I did what I wanted, and that wasn't the best job I had. The best job that I had was when I worked in a mortuary, and I worked graveyards all by myself.
Ooh, a mortuary, really?
Yeah, and I worked all night
That's
in the graveyard shift, taking first calls for all of the dignity providers. So all of Arizona's mortuaries.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
So how many dead bodies have you seen personally?
From that job or just in life? I mean,
All your life.
a lot.
Really? And is there something like a fetish or something?
No, it's not a fetish. I'm just, the first dead person I saw was my mother when I was 6, so I'm
No, I was
comfortable
gonna
with
say
it.
people die. My son was around a dead body. Nothing related.
It's nothing to me like that.
People die.
Yeah, but it does,
Heather, you
Yeah.
didn't at one time. You never got depressed seeing just people coming and dying like death. Like just death all around you. That
Oh,
didn't
no,
depress you?
yeah, you know what? And in fact, I did do a transfer, and so I was deprived of my vacation time. So it got to a point where I couldn't take a vacation when a vacation was needed, and that is the demise of my job, because it did get overwhelming and it infected my dreams.
I could imagine so.
And I'm a dedicated worker, and so I really, put my heart into everything, and I thought I was Master Ghost Blaster or something. I don't know.
Would you have to do the one and be the one that would do the incision down the chest? And
No, I didn't do any
organs out?
procedures. I didn't do anything in the prep room. I did all admin work and stuff like that.
So they'd already bring you the body already sewn up, and you do like cosmetics and that type
No,
of
I wouldn't do anything that having to do with bodies.
Computers, yeah.
We weren't permitted to even go back in the prep area. And I really didn't want to, because my job was at night when people would die. Family or cops or whatever would call, and I would send people to go pick them up, and then they'd drop them off with me.
Right, and then you'd have to just input information, etc.
It's so easy.
Did you do a
Oh my
toe
God.
tag even, or?
I didn't see them.
Okay.
I don't think she had to touch them.
No, I didn't see them.
Nonetheless, I mean, to have to
deal with their families, the first
now
call.
you're talking. Wow.
That's harsh right there, man. I couldn't do that.
Hi, your person's dead. You know what I mean?
Right.
I love that
That's
job.
horrible. Wow. So
That's-
you don't do that anymore or something? You don't
Well,
do that
after I graduate here, like at the end of spring, I think I'm going to go back into death care services somehow, in grievance counseling or something.
Death
Wow,
care.
that'd be
That's kind of an oxymoronic
Grievance
statement.
counseling, I think, sounds
It's
good.
contradicting itself, no?
Right.
'Cause
Kind of
it's
sounds like
really-
Obamacare almost.
Well, I just think that, having to talk to the families would have given you, a precipice, or I don't think that I want to use the word plateau, but, a place, where you can, base, talking to families off of, because you would have to be able to detach. I can't even imagine, having to deal with that. And if you have that kind of skin, thick skin, that's amazing. So I don't even know what to say. That's amazing. So
It does take a certain kind of a person to do that.
Yeah, so you're like almost done with school or something, you said?
Yeah, I have 2 more terms, and they're 8-week terms. So at the end of spring, I'm thinking, I've been doing it for 3 years.
I think you'll be, great at it. I mean, as much as that sounds so weird,
Someone's got to do
people
it.
die. Yeah, and somebody does. Sorry, you guys. I don't mean to interrupt.
Thank you,
That's like
Angela.
a situation that happened to me when I was working at a nursing home. When I was a lot younger, I was working at a nursing home, and they had me on the floor. It was on the 6th floor. It was in Queens, and the 6th floor was just everybody had dementia. So, you were a bunch of old people who were like kind of crazy. So, they used to always tell me, don't get attached to them. Don't get attached to them. And I used to tell them, why not? They're like, oh, because they pass away and whatnot. I never paid attention to that. There was this one man, his name was Joe. He was a baseball fanatic. And every time I would go to his room, I would see baseball with him, watch baseball with him. I would see him watching baseball. One day I go to work and Joe's not there, and I'm asking everybody, where's Joe at? And everybody's just looking at me, and I'm like, where's Joe? And they're like, yo, Joe passed away last night. Oh my God! I started crying like a little girl.
Right. I can't imagine why you wouldn't.
And but then everybody warned me, don't do that. You can't get attached to them. So it takes a special kind of person to actually, be around that all the time. And then after that,
I think I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think it's impossible not to get attached.
Of course.
Joaquin, where are you from, man?
Me, I'm from New York City, man. I'm from the Bronx.
The trick is attach, detach. attach, detach.
Oh no, but after that, Heather, I learned my lesson, and now I understood why, the nurses there, the RNs and the LPNs treated them like crap. And literally, like, whatever. They used to be like, whatever with them. And I used to be like, why are you treating them like that? Oh, you don't understand. And
Yeah,
I'm
well, they
like,
need to take some dignity classes in their nursing school.
Yeah, I agree.
It's true, too.
I agree.
I took a dignity class.
That's the thing too, is, detach, is, well, luckily, Heather, I mean, I hate to say luckily, I don't even know what I'm talking about really, because I haven't been in your situation, but, to be able to detach, it probably has something to do with the fact that you did not have to attach to them. So for Joaquin, I have to say that, it might have been incredibly difficult, to,
actually
pretend,
like an exercise that you do yourself. You
like
attach.
a muscle.
You
like,
try to attach, and then you have to try and detach, and you purposely attach and detach to control the.
It's kind of like a soldier, really.
Yeah, kind of.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and give out the number. I realize I haven't even given out the number yet. Anybody out there, it's an open roundtable. We just pass around the mic and speak on whatever's on your mind. You don't have to stick with the topic we're on. 347-688-2902. That is 347-688-2903. 347-688-2902. We're getting a caller right now, actually. 856, welcome to the call. What's your name and what's on your mind?
I'm Jared. My name's Jared. Yeah,
what's up, Jared?
I'm actually, not too much. I'm actually at work. I like to listen late. I do the night shift, and I just heard you talking about nursing home. Yeah, I'm a RN. I work at a nursing home, and, yeah, it is. I've been, I was an LPN for like 5 years, and then now I'm an RN, and it is hard to get, to get to know people, and you become like more their family. Then I know what you mean. A lot of the nurses
Absolutely.
do treat them like crap sometimes. But
Wow.
To me, everybody's like your grandmother or grandfather or just another soul. But it took a long time to get used to getting close to people and then seeing them deteriorate and die. And it tore me up for years. Now I just try to be the best I can, for them in the last moments of life. But
Wow.
Hey, Jared, especially those families, because when I worked at the nursing home, there were families who just didn't care about them. I mean, there would be people there who they never had visitors, and how can you not go up to them, strike a conversation with them? And then there was some who they had visitors every single day, the same person. They were very well loved. So it's difficult. It is difficult. It was depressing.
it is.
Joaquin, what do you do now?
Me, I work right now at a school with kids with autism and learning disabilities. Private school.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then what is the name of our caller? What is the name of our caller?
That's Jared.
Hi, Jared.
Yeah. Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Jared,
too.
I got a question for you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on toes again.
Do it.
Go ahead. So, Jared, you're an RN. Where do you work in the hospital? Or are you in a hospital or something private or?
The nursing home, rehab, and then there's different sections. There's the independent living, and then an assisted living, and then the nursing home rehab.
And what city are you in?
The nursing home rehab, but kind of oversee everything.
What city?
Wilmington, Delaware, but I live
Delaware.
I live in Philadelphia, so it's a little commute.
Wow. Well, welcome.
Yeah, I used to work in the OR. Not fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did rotation there. It's wild.
Yeah, I used to be, they call it a patient transporter, but really all it is a glorified janitor. You gotta clean up all the mess after the surgeries, and you gotta make it,
that's tough.
Hey, is that a custodial engineer?
Right.
Oh my God.
I wish it was funny, you know what I mean?
Glorified janitor. But,
I wish it was funny. That's a hard job.
$2,000 a year.
Yeah, but that's a hard job. I mean, think about it. Really? That's a hard job.
No, it wasn't easy.
You know,
Yeah,
what's the guy's name? Mike, something guy, the Dirty Jobs guy. I mean, now there's a job. You know,
Mike
you want to do a
Crow.
show. Yeah, Mike Crow. Yeah, exactly. You want to do a Dirty Jobs show, Mike Crow.
That was a good show. I mean, when I watched
I love that show.
Yeah.
I saw him. I'm sorry to change the subject, but I saw him bite the balls off a sheep. You know, and I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, they were doing the more humane, I'm sorry, they were trying to deball sheep and they showed the two ways. They showed the Humane Society's way, which was to tie them off and let these poor things suffer for a week, or to just bite them off, like literally they showed this farmer who literally bit these balls off.
I'm puckering.
And they bit these, my son of all people, he's 24 now, he showed me this show, and I'm sorry, this is not anything to do with what we're talking about, and I feel really bad, but yeah, so they literally take their teeth and bite around the balls of these, you know, these male sheep or whatever you call male sheep, and they would pull them, and then these sheep wouldn't suffer at all compared to, like, you know, being in pain with their, you know, balls being, you know, tied off for like a week, etc.
Yeah.
And they literally pull these things out with their teeth because it was the best way to do it. And they found it more humane. And I'm sorry, I really digress because we were talking about dirty jobs. And then I went into Mike Crow, and it's my fault, and I'm sorry. We were talking about something really important, which was, you know,
nursing care.
Taking care of people, yes.
You know, they love me on Revolution Radio for one reason. Okay. Anyway.
Hey,
Rectify, how long's your show going on tonight?
Hey, we got another hour and 15.
Okay. Well, I might have to call back in, man.
No problem, brother. Anytime.
Dude, is this your first call?
Me?
Oh, Brian?
Yes. Brian, yes.
Oh, no, but it might be Jared's first call, and I was actually on that note.
Jared.
I was curious, all the new listeners from Live 365 or all these new FM stations or
That's great. That's great.
I'd like to know who's the new caller, first-time caller, you know?
Right.
Dude,
I've called in.
Lock on.
I've called in a few times.
How did you find Revolution Radio, Jared?
Yeah, good question.
Actually through Carrie Cassidy. I've been listening for a few years. I started just listening to her show, and then through the chat room met the Ed Opperman, became friends with him.
Yeah, Ed Opperman, nice.
Yeah, and
Morton.
Yeah.
Sean David Morton.
What was that?
He's wondering if you've ever heard Sean David Morton.
Yeah, I called in to him a bunch, and
you know, you guys have to realize that I am the ambassador to bring Sean David Morton to this radio station.
Yeah,
I don't know.
really,
I am the girl.
I heard of him through Carrie Cassidy, and then the whole thing, and Anthony Sanchez too. I guess he's has his own thing, but you got I guess Stephen D. Kelly from him, and
nice.
Yeah.
Who said
What's still coming over?
What was that?
I'm a big fan of Stephen D. Kelly, man. That man, has good information. I'm a big fan of his.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
I was asking him. Oh, damn, I'm sorry, Joaquin.
Go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead, Brian. Say what I say.
No, I was asking who said they're the ambassador for getting Sean on?
That would be Angela Black.
Oh,
yeah, that would be
Black.
me.
Yeah,
The one, the
I've
only.
definitely heard you on the show. I'm sorry, Angela, I didn't know you. I just heard Heather. I didn't.
That's me. That's me, girl. No, that's me, Jared. It's Jared, right?
That's Brian.
Yes,
Wait, who am I speaking to? Jared
Brian.
or Brian?
Brian.
Brian.
Yeah,
Hi, Brian. Yeah, that is me.
Yeah.
You know, I've actually had Sean stay on our couch before, which is kind of funny. And, you know, we called in. I first heard Sean on American Freedom Radio, which apparently is defunct now. I'm not sure. I don't know the details, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, I'm like, dude, you got to come this way because, you know, because I had a show here. I don't think you may or may not know that. I don't think you know that. Anyway, so I'm like, dude, you have to come on this show, Sean. Blah, blah, blah. And then, he finally joined, you know, the correct truth radio station, which would be Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. And, so anyway, we got him, you know, and we've got some new people as well that are coming from there. And we just added another person named Brent Holland, who has this pretty cool Canadian show called Night Fright Show, and then he's got his own, I think it's nightfrightshow.com, and then he's got his own like TV show, and now he's joining with the help of VO Bear, which is one of our aunts of the station. So we worked together, and we found that we could get some great people on the show. I've also encouraged callers like yourself to eventually host a radio show. So just FYI, Brian, you're not out of the loop yet. You may have to do a show like within the next few months. Just FYI.
Oh, I would love to. By the way, thank you, Angela, for getting Sean on the network. I've gotten, again, I don't know if you heard, but I spoke about the Red Amendment and PAC. I've gotten the author of the Red Amendment on Sean's show twice now, via Steve Travesti.
That's awesome. That's Steve Travesti, yeah.
That, you know what Sean just did? Again, I just had my third son here, and Sean finally was able to get a birth chart done for all of my three children, a good 18 to 20 pages each. So I don't know how he does that, but yeah, Sean's awesome. He does what he's got to do, you know, and so heck, if you talk to Sean, just tell him Brian said thank you. Brian Smith said thank you.
I shall.
Well,
I shall do that, and that's awesome. I'm so glad that you are a part of our listenership, and don't be surprised if you end up a host one day.
Oh, well, I wish I had time, but again, I've got a third shift job and three sons, and
oh my God, three sons!
Five.
What are their names?
Eli, Ezekiel, and the newest one is Emerson.
So the E's, all E's.
I love
Yep.
it. I always said I wanted to name my son Ezekiel.
Nice. Well, congratulations on the birth of all three sons, including your latest. And, I know you're working your butt off in general to support these children, but, I'm hoping there's still a wife involved.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of the wife, with her newest one, Emerson, born December 16th, my wife did all completely natural home birth.
Wow.
She is a super.
Look at you.
Yeah. No, look at her. I mean, I didn't do any of that, so.
True that.
But,
true that.
Yeah,
That's
I'm just proud of her that she did that and pulled it off without, any
Injury.
stops there. So.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Well, congratulations, and please feel free to call anytime, of course. And I'm telling you, I just have this feeling that one day you're going to be a host here.
Oh, well, I would love to, but I can't see the time in the near future.
Famous last words.
All right. Well,
All right, I'm done. I'm
Let's
you
get back
guys.
to rectifying Joaquin there.
what was that?
I said, let's get back to rectifying Joaquin
Oh,
there.
man, best job I've ever had. I was a brewer. I used to work at a place called Gordon Biersch Brewery, and I was actually the brewmaster's assistant. And the reason it was the best job is because I got to bring home pony kegs whenever I wanted. I could even take home unfiltered beer if I wanted to.
Nice.
You can't beat that. I mean, beer ain't cheap, and I love beer, as everybody at Revolution Radio has ever heard Rectify on the air before knows. But yeah, we're coming up on a break. I wanted to welcome everybody out there on Live 365 that are listening to us. Welcome. And TuneIn.com, welcome there. And I just wanted to say we still need to get on iHeartRadio, so we need people to go to Spreaker.com. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. Search for Revolution Radio and like us. We need an exponential liking in order to get the invite to iHeartRadio. So that'd be great. Spreaker.com. And our number here again, 347-688-2902. We're just shooting the you-know-what. So give us a call.
Also, we'd like to say hello to everybody listening to us on the FM stations in Kentucky, Seattle, and Germany. We can also be reached at Skype keyword Freedom Screen, all one word.
That's right. And, this is the Gray Zone. Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% user supported radio. And we'll be right back in about 3 minutes. Hang in there.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Hi everybody, it's me, the Fetch, host of Inside the Eye Live. Before the Sunday mainstream media political pundit talk shows, there is Inside the Eye Live, where we break down some of the weekly mainstream media talking points before the talking points even get aired. Add in some entertaining stories, weather, cats, intriguing and informative guests, and you get one of the most listened to Saturday morning streaming media political talk shows going today. And it's all right here on our flagship station, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So join me, the Fetch, for Inside the Eye Live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It is truly intelligent media for the politically aware.
This is Thomas, a.k.a. a Mad Painter. I'd like you to join me Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Open Canvas. Don't forget to bring an open mind.
Yes, folks, that's right. Bring an open mind to an open canvas. Again, that is Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. UFOs to government corruption. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here. Revolution Radio. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome to the TheGrayZone Roundtable, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. No corporate ties for productive dictating our freedom of speech. It shall remain that way as long as we are supported by you. Join us, 347-688-2902. Enter the Gray Zone.
And welcome back to the Gray Zone here at Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. This is Rectify.
And this is Joaquin, and just wanted to remind everybody that you are listening to the largest listener-supported radio station on the planet, Revolution Radio at www.freedomslips.com. We are 100% listener-supported, meaning you, the listeners, are who keep us on the air. So shows such as the TheGrayZone Roundtable wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for your donations and support. You can just visit our website at www.freedomslips.com, click on the Support Us button on top of the page. Feel free to make a donation. Anything is appreciated, whether it's $1, $2, $3. We also have cool items there: T-shirts, mugs, the Revolution Radio logo on it. Mike Ringley has a great offer for $100. Mike has the Jumbo Emergency Food Survival Seat Pack which offers over 34,000 non-GMO and non-hybrid seeds with 54 different varieties, and an instructional DVD video. Also, we have a wonderful chat with people who are very knowledgeable, people of like minds, and you can come and listen in there, and also post questions. Make sure they're all in caps. So, this is what we do here at freedomslips.com, and if it wasn't for you, this wouldn't be going on.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody out there, for keeping us moving. And
those seeds that you're talking about, those are seeds that regrow themselves. So it's
Right.
a damn good investment.
they're not GMO or
I'm gonna
hybrid,
do it.
so you can get seeds off your
I
plants.
don't know. They're grandfathered in.
Like, oh my God, it produces a seed.
And then they have more seeds. They're asexual seeds.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm totally into it. Plus, it helps.
Speaking of asexual, we're going to get into women, relationships, and marriage.
Don't start with me.
Oh,
Let's
man.
see.
Yeah, so who's married on the call right now? I consider myself married, but not through the state.
I'm married for like real or whatever.
So you're actually tied into the state.
I
So
did it.
all the taxes and all that, you're all one. So if
Same
one
here.
screws up, the other one pays for it.
I'm married to Sofia Vergara in my mind.
What's that?
I said I'm married to Sofia Vergara, like in my own little world. That I
Oh,
live
like,
in.
oh, I love her. Oh, she's so great. I love her. She's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm married to her too, Ken.
Oh man, she's amazing.
Yeah, marriage should be between the man, the wife, and God.
And
but
Sofia Vergara.
And Sofia Vergara.
Right. Why bring the state into it? How about you, Brian? Are you married with the state as the third party?
Yes, unfortunately, I am. But this is,
girl.
but you know what? I don't have Saturnalian rings on our fingers, so I think that's a little bit of a bonus.
It's funny you mentioned that. Because when me and Rectify were off air, and I told him, remember I just told you like a couple hours ago, I said it's so pagan that people don't understand that the ring that they put on symbolizes the ring around Saturn. And this is what I told you earlier, and he hit it right in the head. And it's because I'm neo-pagan. This is one of the reasons why I when it comes to marriage, to me it's a Christian concept, and I'm just not for all that. I'm really not a religious person, and I think all organized religion should be abolished. So it is what it is.
Here.
I find that it's an odd, law that, came from, a particular, set of traditions that led us to today, et cetera. And it's odd, to watch the, judicial system take control of the situation, et cetera. But, at the same time, if we're going to talk about actual marriage as opposed to like paper marriage, then we're going to talk about, two people committing to themselves, whomever they are, committing to each other, I should say. I apologize. And, it's very interesting the length of time that one goes through in that particular situation. I'm in 8 years into an actual quote unquote marriage, and then 22 years into the relationship, which is very interesting. I'm 44, and so I was 22, so you have to understand that, it was new and young and different for me. But, I find that, I look at my grandparents who had 65 years of marriage. I look at my other grandparents who had 62 years of marriage. And I look at, people's Facebook pages, and I think about, celebrity, and I think about money, and I think about, ability to break up, and I think about these types of things, and I go, wow, it blows me away because, once you commit, in my opinion, regardless of whatever the paper shows, I think it's a real, communal decision between the two people to decide what's going to happen next. And I don't like, if I ever did divorce, which I'm not planning on or anything like that, but I find that, taking the other one to the bank, if you will, is something that I'm not interested in. I find that, ripping the other one off or trying to figure out how you can get everything from the other person. I mean, it's sad that this is what I'm talking. What's that?
This is why we have prenuptial agreements.
Yeah. Well,
I did not have sex with that woman.
That's an understatement. I mean, it should already have been in place. I mean, an agreement to me is one of trust. If you sign something, if you put your thumbprint on something, if you vow to somebody to this, that, the other, then I think if you're going to end that you should be mutually respectable to each other and make certain that nobody gets wronged in the end. I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Angela, here's the thing. A lot of people, like females, female and men, they'll say, okay, look, we don't want to sign a prenuptial agreement because we're going to be together forever and it should be based upon trust. Okay, cool. My thing is, if you really love me, you'll sign the prenuptial agreement because we're not, because the way I see it is that, if you really believe in your heart that we're not going to ever separate or divorce, this prenuptial agreement is void because we're not going to separate, so sign it anyway.
We've been joined by another caller, Hyro. Welcome, brother. How you doing?
JB.
Hi, R3. I'm not going to be on your side here, I'm afraid, Joaquin. Because,
is Heather still here, by the way? Do I still have my female,
Hello, Heather. Hello, Angela. Yep. Hello, R3.
I'm here.
Oh, my God.
JP, what's going on, brother?
R3,
Heather,
we forgive you for being a bit German. Yep. That's all right.
What's wrong with being German? Come on. Germans make some good stuff.
Hey, we got an FM station in Germany, man. Calm down, JB.
I love my Germans. Believe me, I love my Germans.
I love my Germans.
But Joaquin, I have to be I'm going to bring the conversation slightly down because you guys are very high level. If you are marrying your woman when she's looking at you and she wants to get married, she's not talking about any contract. She's not talking about any high level spiritual contract. She's talking about.
Did we lose
What just happened?
I don't know.
Is he there?
JB.
Oh man, that happens to him a lot.
God bless.
That happens to JB a lot on Skype. He drops out a lot.
Weird.
Oh, sorry.
What happened,
There he
JB?
is.
What happened?
Sorry. So when your woman puts on her dress, her beautiful white dress, she's gone through all the Cinderella stuff, she's in the church, she wants to know that, Joaquin, you are her man and you are not going anywhere. Don't give me don't talk to me about no spiritual stuff.
I need a ring and I don't need a wedding or a priest to tell me that. You see what I'm saying? I don't think Adam and Eve were ever married. Who married them?
May I?
One and only forever. One and only and forever. That's what it's all about. I mean, I honestly, personally, I don't agree in a prenup, but I made a commitment to my wife. She's going to be my one and only, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten married.
Yeah, but the government shouldn't have any control over that. Like, we have common law marriage in the States, in some states. Here in California, not the case, thank God. But common law marriage is where you...
God? Wait. Why do you say that?
Because I don't want the state involved in my affairs, period. I want to live as a free man.
Absolutely.
Yes. No, I agree with that too. But for my personal case, when I got married, I didn't know half as what I knew right now. I mean, I've been married for over 5 years now. And, I learned a lot way back then.
Do you mean that in a good way or in a bad way? Do you mean that in a good way or in a bad way? Like you wasn't expecting what just happened, within the last 5 years, or were you expecting? I think
you just didn't want to invite the state in if you knew better. It's like kind of Angela woke up back in 2009, 2010 type of deal.
Yeah, I mean, I could say I've been woken up since at least 2005, but I didn't know this part of the whole awakening. You know what I mean? Between man and wife versus God. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have gotten married. But even if I did know that, the wife didn't agree at that time. Hell, it took her 2 years to believe that fluoride was bad.
Well, if you have children, though.
First of all, go with my wife. Okay, let's just take you up a notch. go with my wife, not the wife. I mean, I apologize, but
It's even better.
I'm just saying,
I
you know.
like the wife. I don't know about you, but I like
You know,
the
and
wife.
I also have to admit, to mention that I say the hubby. I might be wrong there, but, but what I wanted to say was, you know, that marriage situation and that agreement was, and I'm really sorry, everybody, because everyone's going to get so mad at me right now. But, you know, my whole likes your stick.
Wow.
The end. I mean, seriously, if you really want to go there, if you really want to produce children and you really want to make that happen, I mean, are we not talking about my whole likes your stick?
Like sin. I think producing children nowadays is like sin. You know, literally.
Like greedy.
It's just unfair to them, to be honest.
I agree.
I don't know. I mean, that's just me, though. You know.
Yeah. Yes.
How is it, though? I mean, if you're not married through the state as a third party, how does that affect children in this day and age? That's what I want to know from Brian. If you didn't get married, I mean, maybe your children wouldn't have the same benefits, or how does that work?
Well, yeah, again, there comes the whole, you know, I guess income tax issue, you know, the whole IRS BS. I mean, you know, like, yes, you get more benefits when you're married. I wouldn't do taxes at all if I didn't get a nice little tax refund every year. But,
right. And it's funny
you know,
they call it a
helps
refund when it was a loan given by you, interest-free to begin with.
Exactly. I've been paying all year on taxes. I'd like to get a little bit of it back. But you know what? At the same time, I'm torn. I'm totally against the IRS and all that. But, my God, if I can get $5,000 in a lump sum back every year, that helps the hell out of me.
Everybody's got a price, I suppose. You know?
It's rough, man. I should be more down to my principles, you know, and everything. But my God, man, I mean, how can I resist that? If I had to pay taxes, that'd be a different issue. If I had to owe the state and the federal government, that'd be a whole different issue, and I'd fight it to the death. But right now, if they're going to pay me what I've already paid throughout the whole year, then I'd like to get something back, you know. And that sucks. I hate to say it, but I wish I didn't have to do them at all. But man, it really helps us. I mean, we're actually looking for a new place to live, and we're actually aiming at for a tax refund. So I mean, it's again, like I said, I'm on the fence and torn about that issue.
Here's some common law marriage myths. A couple becomes married by common law when there is no official ceremony, but the two people consider themselves married and meet certain criteria. However, not all states recognize common law marriage, and California is one of them, which brings us to common law marriage myth. Number one, myth: all states recognize common law marriage. Most states, including California, do not recognize common law marriage. Colorado, Rhode Island, Washington, D.C., and a handful of others do acknowledge common law marriage. Myth 2, there is no way to have a common law marriage in California. If you lived as a married couple by common law in a state that recognizes common law, and you moved to California where you decide to pursue a divorce, the courts will work with you. However, this issue quickly becomes a complicated legal matter and should be discussed with an attorney. Common law myth 3, common law marriage occurs when you live together for 7 years. You can live together for 1 year or for 20 years, but unless you meet very specific criteria, you will not be considered married by common law. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. Stay out of my life, courts and government.
I have to interject really quick.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Our other female speaker on this call is Heather Holman. And Heather has some information or opinions, I should say, on marriage. And I would love to hear from you, Heather, and I think we all would.
Okay. Well, real quick. I'm not married, but I think that in a marriage, like what I think Brian was saying about, you know, in it to win it for the long haul, you know, forever. But then when circumstances arise and complications, and there's always going to be problems in life, and people don't stick together. And if you just stick together, that's how you make your marriage last, and it gets better when you stick together and you work through all the problems instead of breaking up. It's stupid. You just stay together, and then it builds your marriage.
All right, but Heather, don't you think that when you're tied down or married, the whole concept of wanting to leave something that's broken, marriage it's almost like you're obligated to stay together. It's like
that's what marriage is.
But there's no way, even if you want to get out of
do
it.
us part.
I understand that, but there are people who are unhappily married. Would you rather be unhappily married? You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you can't even look at your
happy, Joaquin, the reason they're not happy is because they got married for the wrong reasons.
Exactly, because you don't get married
because you're pregnant. You don't get married because you're pregnant. You don't get married because you're broke.
You get married because you're in for the long haul. That's a gigantic decision, which modern society has just totally underestimated. Oh, let's get married. Oh, God, 2 months later, the divorce. No way, man. I mean, we've totally underestimated the power of marriage. And I'm just talking about marriage
programming has a lot to do with that. I mean, if you look at the stuff that's on TV now, like broken families. I mean, exactly. look at one show, Modern Family, where it's okay to have the sexy wife, the stupid father, you know what I'm saying, the whorish daughter, you know what I'm saying, the homosexual couple, and this is what they're promoting out there.
Yes, those shows are making this. They're shaping our society, instead of us being the ones to shape that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Would it be different if people had their wedding rings tattooed on their finger? No, I mean maybe. What do you think?
I was going to say something.
Just a slight thing. I've only got one thing to say.
Okay, Gyro.
Is that okay, Joaquin?
No, absolutely. Go ahead. What I was going to say was inappropriate.
There are two things that I'd like to say. Modern Family, that's inappropriate because, like, that woman's hot. His wife is gorgeous. But what I would say to reverse the roles, what do you guys think? Because both Heather and Angela sound like they're the ones that earn the money. So what would it be? Would you not mind signing a prenup when they're earning all the bucks?
I would never mind signing a prenup.
Yeah, not at all. I would expect to.
I would hope not to ever. That's the thing with I feel that maybe, Heather, that you and I may be a minority, or at least the myth of a minority, because the last thing I want to do is take from the person that I love. And so for me, I don't live in celebrity land. I mean, I lived amongst it. But I always found it odd, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I think a prenup is important if you both have money and all that kind of stuff, but for me, I would never figure out how to forgive the word, but rape my husband of
that's
money.
Why you're still married, and you'll probably stay married because
you can't the will.
And I mean, and that's not bad or good or this or that or the other thing. What it is a sign of trust, and what I don't want is to ever be involved with somebody that I'm looking forward to finding ripping me off. I mean, in the long run, I find it so weird that if you're going to commit to somebody, whatever level that's on, whether it's legal or, in a church, or whether it's, with a ring, or whether it's, in a tribal situation, or whatever you're going to do, I don't find the necessity to, figure out how you're going to take from that person when it's over. I think that if you do commit, just to finish my thought, I apologize. If you do commit, and you find yourself in a situation that didn't work out, F off. I mean, you signed up. Right. You know what I mean?
One thing though that I do want to give advice on for anybody out there married through the law or not, you want to have a living will, with your partner, because it's very important. That's the document that's gonna decide where assets are going to fall into if your partner happens to die.
Unfortunately, true that.
Yeah, because then you're like signing us till the death, like for sure.
Well, yeah, I've got something to say real quick on that. The reason I guess I'm against prenups is because a prenup to me equals doubt, and commitment is everything but doubt. And I have no doubt if I'm going to be completely 100% committed to a marriage to my wife. I mean, there's no way in hell that I'm going to ever divorce her because I knew she's the one I wanted. If not, then why the hell do we get married?
Well,
you know, that's the way
I think prenups are for people that start off with money, and maybe the other person either has, you know, it's a difference in
it's all about
level.
money.
I'm
That's
getting
true.
married without a
It's
prenup.
horrible.
Plain
It should be
simple.
based on financial reasons, you know?
I am not
Right.
getting married unless somebody signs on that dotted line.
So it
I
sounds
want it
like
in print. I want it in print just to make sure it's you.
Yeah, that to me is a sign of
Big
trust, you know, in America.
sounds like the
Blue
paradigms
ink.
of marriage have totally flipped
Yeah,
around.
thank you. Correct, Heather.
Yeah, at least we don't have arranged marriages like some countries, though. You know,
Now those are the
imagine
ones that have the
man.
best success rate.
I was thinking that
Really,
too.
arranged
That's
marriages
true.
have the best success rate.
Well,
Why?
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Fear?
I've heard that too, though.
Look it up
No,
now.
it's because they're
Somebody look it up
conditioned
now in
morally.
America.
One at a time.
What's the percentage? What's the percentage of surviving? You know, a marriage. I think it's it's 56 to 57% chance that you're gonna get divorced. If I'm not mistaken, it's
America.
close to 60.
Yeah, but that's America.
It's close to
Exactly,
60%
Heather.
of
Heather,
marriages
you're making
here
fun.
in America are destined for doom. Fact. It's
Yeah,
all way
well,
over.
Unless you're in it for
Correct.
for a financial kind of a contract or something besides love,
Correct.
it might work.
Hey, Agent H, I want to know why you think arranged marriages work out so well, statistically.
Well, I wrote an article about it. I think it's because
Shut up. You wrote an article?
I
Where
did.
did I find that?
about I turned it into my school, and then
That's so
I deleted
awesome.
my one of my thumb drives, so I don't have that article. But what I found was in India, people with arranged marriages, because the parents are still together for the long term, it's just kids follow in the footsteps of their parents, period, no matter where they live.
We in America call that a shotgun wedding.
Remember they used to have a show, The Hillbilly Wedding or something like that.
Wow.
It's a nice day for a white wedding.
Oh,
Uh,
I don't know. I've never really pictured myself in the dress.
I've known a couple Indian girls in my life, and their parents, they want to always press upon an arranged marriage, and they want to run the other direction. They want nothing to do with it. These are Americanized Indians.
The girls. Because check this out. The thing about that with arranged marriages, it's unfortunate because usually the girls are so young, and then when they have their wedding, they have no idea what's in store. They don't know what sex is, and they don't know what's going to happen, and it's almost like they feel like victimized on their wedding night, and it's really it's really misunderstood, and there's no understanding as far as what they're going to be expected to do. So either it's like an uncomfortable, awkward, practically, assault or something like that, or it's the guy sits her down and explains it to her himself, instead of her mom explaining
Well, how
it.
about like in Afghanistan, Pakistan,
put,
Iraq,
well put.
the 8-year-old arranged
religion
marriages,
has a lot to do with
Saudi
that, though.
Arabia.
Religion has a lot to do with that. That's
Girls get
so that-
scared, and that's how they stay married. Is
How do you
because
explain
they're
to an
peasants.
8-year-old girl what
Over
sex
there,
is?
well, let me
Really?
tell you something, Dr. Fi. Over there, they have what they call honor killings. Like, you can literally kill your wife, and it's okay. So this is the reason why over there, like in places like Afghanistan, Iran, the woman ain't going to leave their man. It's not going to happen. You can catch these honor killings that Muslims do on YouTube. You go
And
look
nobody's
going to
want that woman anymore
They're
after
not
that.
marrying women, though. They're marrying little girls.
exactly, shotgun weddings. I mean, that's
I don't know
totally
about
what
that.
it is. They're married out of fear. No. Look,
Yeah, married out of fear.
There's
Absolutely.
a video I saw on Live Leak the other night.
That's not an arranged marriage.
Well, I don't know if it's an arranged marriage, but on Live Leak the other night, there's a video of these oh my God, it's piss poor. It's like 6 to 9-year-old girls getting married to grown men. A giant wedding somewhere over the Middle East. I mean, that's horrible. But they see it as normal. they actually promote it. I'll try to find the video, but I don't know how I can give it to you guys. But it's out there. It's definitely online. I mean, you see these 6 to 9-year-old girls in wedding dresses married to guys that are twice their size.
They're not
Literally.
Smiling. They're never smiling. They always have a frown of fear on their face. These poor little
They're
kids.
scared to death. What the hell are they going to do?
About to get raped,
Agreed.
basically.
Agreed.
Join
An utter disgrace.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Yes, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to come in and say it's a nice day for a white wedding, but the thing is, not on that topic. Not on the topic of kids getting married at 8 and 9. That's not a nice day, really. That's a
No.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I question things that are illogical like that. That to me is illogical. It's out of line with morality and things like that. And so I do question the source of where it comes from.
But not to cut you off, if you go back into the pharaonic lineage, this was common. It was common. King Tut was like, 9? And his sister was like, 13? And they got married? So back in those days, a long time ago, it was common for these people to actually get married at these ages. They just follow, Islam is just following those traditions. Now we see it. Look, I'm not condoning this. Please don't get me wrong. I feel that it's immoral. It's just completely out of control. But back in the days, this was okay, man. A long time ago, it was okay, and it was part of the kingship and the pharaonic lineage, and even way before that. When you look at
and apparently it's still okay.
Yeah.
So,
tradition. We're just not used to it because of the laws that are given to us.
So,
they don't treat women and their religion with any respect, anyhow. You know what I mean? But that's their thing, and we're probably getting off topic with this, but
get back in the kitchen, little girl. I call my wife.
You know what I mean? Doesn't sound right, does it? But does this mean morality is something that should be allowed to change with the times as things? And
you're right. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it makes us more civil. In actuality, yeah, absolutely right. So, the way we evolved, when the laws changed and the way we evolved, now we look at that like, oh my God, that's crazy. But back in those days, it was okay for men to be with men, for little girls to marry little boys. This was common all over the place, man.
All right, okay. I've got two things, just two things. Very, very, very quickly. The first thing that's important here is not about what age these people are. It's about the golden rule. They need to be choosing what they want to do with their lives. That is the golden rule. That's how everything works. You respect somebody else's opinion.
It's an interesting point.
And the second thing is, all of you Americans are far too spoiled, and I'm going to send you all off to India with a ticket, and you're all going to get married to your partners.
I think Indian women are beautiful, man. Send me to India. I'll be okay.
All my life.
Joaquin, with your partners. You're not allowed to choose one over there. You've already got partners. You're going over there with your partners to get married.
In a heartbeat.
That is what I need. I used to look in the matrimonials in the Bombay Times to find the perfect candidate to go over there and marry. But are you going to hook me up, Gyro? Are you? I can't wait.
They're all English. My Indian friends are all English. Everyone's English here.
That's
but look, they bore you.
They'll bully
you need more than that. They'd bore you.
Oh, bore me. No.
Mm.
India is my favorite culture.
You know what? Mine too, Heather. The whole
You know why you both like India so much, right? It's
Why?
because they wrote the Kama Sutra.
Oh.
You both are sexual deviants.
Yeah, number 123 for me in that book, thanks.
You know what? I never you're kind of right.
I didn't even know it was possible. I didn't know you could have arms there and legs in that place, and wow. Who knew?
What's that name of that one?
Wait a minute, you never played Twister, brother?
The conspiracy theory is that was introduced by the person who wrote the Kama Sutra.
Is it?
No, I just made that up.
Anyone can make up something like that, though. It's just the wildest fantasy. Just put it in a book. Oh, yeah, that's the new way.
Hey, so You know, I said like how morality might be a. Are we still on air? Is everything all right?
Yeah, we're still live. We'll keep your echoing back.
No, it was just I was just.
Last time I checked, yes.
A deathly silence. I was so whoa. Yeah. So you know how I said morality might be a transient thing and change from year to year. Does that not conflict with most of our Western legal systems, which are, you know, I mean, when was the last time you heard of a law reversed? And let's take cannabis, for example.
Well, see, you said legal, and then you said law. See, when I hear legal, I hear color of law, so I don't even give it my time or energy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the
classic example would be cannabis, where you've got, you know, people still in prison that have been locked up for cannabis, and meanwhile we're legalizing it, you know, everywhere, you know, or it's being legalized from state to state. So, you know, there's this problem with law being so stubbornly non-reversible that it's difficult to move with the times and move with the changes.
It depends on how much the revenue of the government can collect.
I don't even think it's about revenue. I think it's about giving us more apathy before the final falling. That's why they're legalizing it.
I'm pretty sure it's about revenue.
They can print whenever they want, though.
Yeah, but revenue, really? I mean, let's think about it. It's revenue. You know?
Well, yeah, we're talking about marijuana is revenue. Yeah, that's the only reason it's illegal is because it's a weed and it can't be controlled in its growth. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were finding they couldn't capitalize on it. I'm sorry.
Marijuana being illegal than legal. That's a
I
fact.
think they made it illegal because of the cotton gin.
By locking people up, they make more money off it being illegal than legal. The thing is, like I said before, I forgot whose roundtable it was that I said it's not the legalizing it. It's actually convincing the people to buy it off them. Because when you can plant the seed in your backyard and grow it, the same marijuana that these people want to tax you for,
I would go with more of a GMO marijuana at that point.
Well,
you know what I mean? Come on.
On top of that, I mean, think about the whole alcohol prohibition. The only reason that was there is because there was a switch, you know, on these Model A's or Model T Fords that can go back and forth between an alcohol-based gasoline or the oil-based gasoline. Same with their tractors and farm equipment. They didn't want people making their own fuel. And how dare you go against the oil industry?
And watch the laws of marijuana are going to be stricter than they were before because of it. This is what a lot of people are not getting. This is what a lot of people are not getting. They're legalizing it, but once they legalize it, if you grow it, oh my, 25 to life because you didn't buy it off them. This is what a lot of people are not seeing.
And anyone can grow it, and yeah, you don't dare go against, dare I say, Big Pharma when it comes to growing your own medicinal marijuana.
I was just going to add about what they're talking about the economy-based opinion about it. It was William Randolph Hearst, the newspaper conglomerate dude, that made it so pot was illegal and hemp was illegal because for his, you know, paper making or whatever, because he made more money, you know, off the industry.
Good point.
You know, yeah, cutting down the trees and making paper or whatever.
He's actually the one that developed the word marijuana, and he made it like a Mexican type of devil
Slang.
drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be called cannabis or hemp.
Reefer.
He came up with that term so they could demonize it.
You know, they might even be trying to do a Monsanto on the cannabis industry.
Yeah, marijuana, Tijuana.
You know, by controlling the strains and just eventually letting through weak strains, you see.
But they've already done that with hydro. Hydro's not a natural weed. They grow that with chemicals in it, brother.
Correct.
Natural weed is what you find in Jamaica. You know, when you grow a plant inside an incubator, it doesn't even have to be in soil. You and spray it with mist and chemicals. You know, you dumbing people down. The people who smoke the weed like that grows in your backyard, you don't see them dying of brain cancer or actually losing memory. The people who are smoking them high strains like hydro, sour diesel,
AK-47,
white widow,
Kawasaki,
losing their minds. they're losing their minds. They don't remember what they thought of yesterday. You know, you can't compare that to the regular weed that you can grow in your backyard. They're not the same. They've been doing that for a while already.
Yeah, well,
we went from marriage to weed. It sounds about right.
You know, what do they call it? What do they call it? Pseudo kush or something? Pseudo
kush. You know all that. You know all that crazy.
Fake, you know, fake pseudo.
Sumo. Who?
What?
Hey, I wanted to say something on the marriage thing, and I flipped my opinion about like the space of a couple of minutes, but I was dead against the prenup, right? Because I think if you're going to be with someone, you trust them implicitly, and if you've got a prenup in the way, how can you trust someone implicitly? But then I realised a girl or a guy can turn on you on the flip of a coin, and 1 minute they're your greatest friend and lover, and the next minute they are your worst enemy. It doesn't matter what you say or do. It doesn't. They hate you. So you know, with that in mind, you know, you can turn around.
But is that this is what R3 was Ryan was saying earlier. Is that a marriage between people, or is that a marriage between persons, corporations?
Wow, look at him rounding it up, bringing it back. Yeah.
Well, no, it is between two human beings, because in the law dictionary, a human being is not the same as a person. A person is a corporation. I don't consider myself a person. I'm a human being with God-given natural rights, not a person.
Living, breathing, bleeding man. Yes, that's right. You're not a person.
If I'm a corporation, I need a bailout desperately. My Bitcoin number is 154.
Sorry, buddy. Too small to bail.
Too small to bail. Oh, yes. Oh, right. So you get too big. Oh, yeah. You're probably right there. Too small to bail.
Hey, Wingman, but you're right, though. Because I said the same thing earlier. I was like, look, a lot of people think that when you sign a prenup, it's like signing or like saying I don't trust you. When in fact, to me, it's the complete opposite. If you signed a prenup, that's telling me if you believe that we're never going to break up, then the prenup shouldn't matter whether you sign it or not.
It's basically saying, look, I know you're lovely and cute and everything now, honey, but you know, there'll be a time when you're going to be a total bitch from hell. And when that time comes, I've got this prenup.
Hey, we got to be careful when we're talking about female dogs and heat. We are on the air.
Nicely put. Nicely put.
Yeah, again, the prenup's just a sign of doubt to me. I mean, that's why I don't do it. I mean, if you love and trust your true partner, then there should be no doubt whatsoever. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I married my woman in my kitchen. I took the vows. I said, you know, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. And she said the same. And she wears my ring. She does do the Saturnalia ring, whatever. I do not. It's actually a statistical fact that when a man wears a wedding ring, they actually attract women more. And there's a higher reach of cheating to occur when you wear a ring. You get more temptation.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it shows stability. Women are attracted to it.
Rectified, but so do women. There are some women who wear wedding rings who ain't even married because that's what they want, dude. Yeah. And you know how I know this, because there've been a few females I slept with that are married, and this is why I just can't take that.
You're a dog.
Let me be a dog.
Karma's coming, buddy.
Dude, let me tell you something, man. That whole marriage thing is just a joke. And nowadays, in this day and age, especially here in the United States of America, it's a joke, dude. I see it as a joke.
I agree.
A complete fallacy.
Another thing I don't get, right, is, and Rachel, you said a moment ago that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with your woman. And I understand that. But people who say they want to spend forever, they say, you know, I want to spend forever with you. Forever's a long time, man. You know, forever is a very long time now. You know, it might be that, you see, I would never say that. I'd say, because, you know, one lifetime, we can try it out, you know.
Hey, Wingman,
maybe two maximum, maybe three if we're lucky, but forever, come on.
I have Alzheimer's, so time is not of the issue. So, yeah, I'm happy.
Hey, you want to try cannabis oil? Apparently that works for that. Without the THC, you don't need the THC, like.
Nicotine.
Yeah, wait a minute. Apparently cannabis oil is the thing. And it's very important. My friend's website is icurecancer.com. It's a small I. It means I being you who has cancer, and that type of thing. And it also prevents it. You know, it's a greens thing. It's a cannabis thing. It's a committal thing. You have to go there, and you have to actually, you know, go into non-processed foods and that type of thing. But cannabis oil, which
expensive.
is yeah, it is. But they also have the non-THC version, which definitely helps the cannabis oil. But yeah, you'd go with $2,000 for like
strictly
an ounce.
CBD is cannabinoids. There's no THC, so
Yeah.
it won't make you high, but it heals
Yeah,
your
true.
cancer.
So it helps with some people, but if you want to buy like an ounce of fucking, excuse my language, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, my epidermis is always flaking.
I never do it, and then I did it this time. Anyway, but you know, it's like $2,000 for like an ounce or something like that, for the cannabis oil, and you know, or a tube or something like that. But it apparently works. You use like a rice-sized piece of, you know, oil, and then you like ingest it somehow, whatever you do, and then you like people heal.
Yeah, he's got a documentary out there. This
I'm sorry I swore. I'm so sorry.
And
sorry I didn't bleep in time as well.
He gave it out.
Sorry.
It out for free. I mean, he used to create that. I mean, it takes like a pound of weed to create a little.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But he was healing kids and healing people of cancer, and the government got on him up in Canada, and he had to actually relocate as a refugee to Europe.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, Rectify, because the oil that Jesus supposedly used, you know, I say supposedly because the character was hemp oil. And he said that he cured a lot of people, and hemp oil was the oil that they used back in those days. They used to anoint people with.
Well, don't forget, like in early America and wherever else, I mean, they were literally, the government was paying people to grow cannabis on their farms.
Yeah, Washington, it was a law. Under Washington, George Washington, everybody had to grow it.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yep. You go to jail if you didn't grow it. So.
Yeah.
So one of the rest of the countries in this union going to legalize cannabis. We've got Colorado, is Washington one that's
those are the two, right?
The two. So how far apart did they both legalize it? I mean, like how many months?
It was during the same election period that they legalized it, which was the last one. And every 4 years, they asked the states if you want to legalize pot. That during the presidential elections, this is in on the form as well. You can actually be like, yes, vote for it. And Washington and Colorado did it at the same time, which was 4 years ago.
So it's not going to be. Is it going to be another 4 years before the rest of the states?
Absolutely. Every 4 years. Any state can do it. They just need a number of votes. They need more and more people to do it. If I'm not mistaken, I think 23 more states are actually planning to do it next time.
Oh, yeah, we have at least 20 that are medical already. So
2016. Oh, New York is about to get medical now. Cuomo already said it. We're about to get legalized medical marijuana.
Because each state, though. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm done.
No, I was just going to say, like, each state is their own country, and they are technically total separate jurisdiction from 6 square miles of Washington, D.C., and they should be able to do whatever the heck they want anytime they want. But who's mandating this 4-year thing, though? Is that D.C.?
I'm pretty sure it is. But you're right, though. Every state can be its own country where it has its own laws and its own governance. This is why this is not a country. This is a nation. This is the United States.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing.
The United States is not a country. It's a nation. So,
exactly. I mean, we're not a union. We are a nation. We're not a union. We are a nation. I mean,
and another thing also, Washington D.C. is 10 square miles, and it's a city state. So it's not even part of the United States. And this is the reason why laws are made and broken there. And they do it legally. They could trample all over the Constitution and say we're going to write this up and we're going to void this and we're going to yay this and nay that. and nobody could really say anything about it because it's literally not part of the United States.
We can, Joaquin. You said Washington, D.C. What we can do is follow the leaders. We just go like Clinton and say, we have cannabis, we smoke it, but we do not inhale.
Oh. or we could play the Obama role and be like, yeah, I've smoked it plenty of times and I have inhaled.
Yeah, Clinton said it best.
We've got about 10 minutes left. Anybody want to get their voice in on the air? 347-688-2902, 347-688-2902. Freedom Screen on Skype. And yeah, give us your opinion on marriage and weed. Try to mix them together.
Yeah, they go great together, don't they?
The couple that gets high together stays together. That's the only thing I could come up with.
Oh, and mix together too. Munchies and all that good stuff.
Rent that billboard, man.
Start putting that on T-shirts.
So once again, I had this whole list for the show, and we only got through like 2 things. So what's new?
We never get through any list, dude. That's why I don't even know why we bother. We just gotta come in here like whatever.
Right.
It's a great show.
That's great radio, though. You gotta do it.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say I'm not at all dissatisfied with this show. It was great topics, great voices.
And we appreciate that, and again, we thank everybody who's listening to us on Live 365. It's an honor having y'all. I know we're reaching out to all of you guys, and this is probably the first time you're hearing us. Rectifying myself.
Thank you.
And hopefully you'll
continue. Thank you. This is the Gray Zone.
Hey Barry, is that you?
I think that's rectified with a voice changer, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I thought it was Barry Resurrection.
Messing around with the mixer board. I gotta have some fun sometimes.
Hey, so you mentioned cancer earlier. Have you guys heard of this Rife technology? I mean, supposedly, right? This guy cured 300 out of 300 cancer patients when he was when he was around, like doing the research.
I've heard about this, but please go on.
Well, supposedly what happens is he finds the resonant frequency of a certain cancer cell, and then he does something similar to noise cancellation when you find the opposite frequency.
Resonance, like shattering a glass, but with
exactly,
a really
exactly.
big fat singer in an opera.
Yeah, so he finds the what? Sorry.
Yeah, William Rife.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you familiar with him, or?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, yeah, we've heard of him. Yeah.
Well, you go on then. You probably know more than me.
Why can't you just sing that song without being fat? What's the problem?
I don't know. Something about fat ladies that can hit those notes.
But yeah, I mean that should be. Again, that's another thing. Imagine through the suppression of a few individuals in those early days, how many people haven't had the liberty of using that and being cured? Because it does sound like pretty logical and true research. I mean, it doesn't sound made up. I mean, this thing seems to have happened, and this guy seems to have existed. So, the fact that there is that kind of technology out there that could save people chemotherapy and going through that trauma.
Well, acoustics can do many things. I mean, acoustics can levitate water, for instance, among many other things, You'd be surprised what vibration and resonance and acoustics can do. I mean, that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's how they built the frickin' pyramids.
Imagine just like grabbing on, you remember those things at Disneyland? You put like a penny in and it had 2 electrodes you put your hands on and it shocks you and it tests how long you can hold on to them. Well, imagine like doctor's offices. You walk into something like that. You just connect yourself to it. You can be all cancerous, right? You connect yourself to that and the frequency just blasts every cancer cell out of your body.
Right. It makes perfect sense. Isn't it? I mean, that's really, that's what I would expect to see in a technological doctor's office. That's making use of technology. Yeah.
Women and Science just came out with a journal talking about how they've proven that the way you think affects your cells. Meaning, well, obviously that's meaning that if you think that you're not going to have cancer, or that you have cancer and you can conquer, you can actually beat it by changing the way you think.
I tell you what else affects your cells. Sound. I've been in a sound field.
Sonic technology.
I've been in a sound field, in a trance, loud music sound field, where I know I am resonating at a cellular level. I know that sound is causing my cells to resonate at a cellular level. And you know how I know? Because I can hear the music with my body, not just
I can hear the music too, guys. It's been another good show on the Gray Zone. It's been Joaquin, myself, Rectify, Angela Black, Wingman, Ryan, Heather Holman, and I believe we had Jared as a caller, and also JB. Thank you all, and
remember, guys,
we love you, and we're happy to be part
Remember, guys, strong minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, and weak minds discuss people. Love you all.
Listen to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. We'll be right back after this message.